everybody, this is Kate Purvis, and I'm really excited because you are getting ready to complete your very first baccalaureate degree plan. You've already done a lot of the work. Let's take a minute to look back and see what you've already done. You've done a lot of research. You found out a lot about yourself, your personality, your values, and you've researched careers that will match your profile. And so you have a couple of careers in mind that you think might be a good match or a good fit for you. Then you did some research on the education required to get a job in that field. So you researched what degrees were required, what certificates required, and then what schools offer those credentials. So by now you should have a couple of careers, probably your top pick in your career, and then your top one or two schools that you'd like to go to. You probably have your plan A, which is your top pick, and your plan B, which is if plan A doesn't work out, you've got a plan B. So you've already done a lot of research. Now it's time to plan. So why do we take this time to plan? This is a wonderful opportunity for you to have this course, to have this assignment, because this is an assignment that you will be using for the next several semesters. So by planning out your courses, your course schedule, it decreases your stress. You don't have to worry about when you're going to take what. You already have your map drawn out. This saves time and it saves money. So let's take a look at a few tips that will help you along the way as you begin to complete your first BDP. First tip, first thing is make sure you know your official program of study. Go to WebAdvisor, log in. It should be the same username and password that you use to log into Blackboard. So log into WebAdvisor. Go to the Progress tab. You'll see here. Under the Progress tab, it will tell you what program of study you are officially in. Now, sometimes I have had students think they're in one program when in all actuality they are in another program. And if that's the case, you need to speak with your advisor about completing a change of program form. So first stop, WebAdvisor, make sure you know what your official program of study is. You see it might be Associate Arts. Click the Progress tab. For this student, it was an Early Childhood Associate Certificate. You see even some students will be earning various degrees and certificates and diplomas. So you need to make sure which one of these do I need to be following that will lead me to my next stage. Which one do I need to print out and make sure I'm following if I'm planning to transfer? Which one to a four-year university? Which one do I need to print out and follow if I'm planning to transfer to another community college? So if you're not sure, talk with your advisor. They can help you, but this is your first step. WebAdvisor, make sure you know what your what your official program of study is. And this is why. For instance, there was a student that went to WebAdvisor, and their official program of study at Beaufort Community College was an Associate in Arts. But for their BDP assignment, in completing their BDP, they've chosen to go to UNC Chapel Hill. And if this is kind of small, but if you can see, for a BS in biology, and they've chosen the BDP that matches up with the Associate in Science. So this isn't going to work because these courses on the North Carolina, this is really small, sorry guys, but if you see here the North Carolina Community College System, the course name, and the UNC Chapel Hill course equivalent, this column is the community college courses, and these are the course equivalents at UNC Chapel Hill. So to earn to take the courses required here needs to match the associate in science, which does not match their program of study at Beaufort. So this is really not good. Some of the courses that you're going to need here won't count for your associate in arts. Or worse yet, you may be taking courses that will count for your associate in arts and then find out, wait a second, I took that for no reason because it's not going to count for my for my bachelor's in science. So make sure these match. If not, you're going to be wasting time and money. Okay, so you've made sure everything matches up. I want you to, you've already done this, but make sure that you have your curriculum flow chart, that's your CFC, from Beaufort, and you have your your baccalaureate degree plan from the university where you intend to transfer. You need to have both of these documents out side by side, because this is where you're going to start checking things off that you've already done, marking things that you're currently doing, and planning things that you are yet to accomplish. Now, note here, if you're transferring to another community college, you need to think of it as baby steps. So if your long-term goal may be to transfer at some point to a four-year university to earn a bachelor's degree, but your short-term goal is to take some classes at Beaufort and then transfer to another program, for instance, physical therapy assistant, dental hygiene assistant at a different community college like Martin Community College or Pitt Community College, you need to make sure that you have the correct documentation. So I would definitely go to the community college, make sure you have their program curriculum plan. So if I'm planning to transfer to Martin to go into physical therapy assistant into their program, then I would go to the Martin Community College site rather than the university BDP site. I would go to Martin's site, print out their curriculum plan and program requirements for the particular program I'm interested in. So if that's the case, I'm going to have my Associate in Arts course curriculum flow chart here, and then I would have the community college program here. If you're planning to transfer, you need to have your curriculum flow chart here and your BDP here. So think of this as short-term goal, long-term goal, okay? Or short-term goal, mid-term goal, depending on how many steps, your plan is. So, make sure you have your documents. Now that you have your documents, like I said before, you're going to start with the classes you've already completed. So if you see here, I've seen students do it different ways. Some students like to color code. Some students just like to take notes. Some students, this is messy. Sometimes students, they're very precise. They want this very neat. This is for you. Make this work for you. But you'll see, for example here, this is the student's curriculum flow chart, or CFC. And this is the student's BDP. So for instance, this student is planning to graduate from Beaufort with an associate in science, and then transfer to ECU to earn a bachelor's of science in biology. So these match. The curriculum flow chart, associate in science, matches up with the bachelor's of science in biology at ECU. So this student started with what they've already taken. In 2018 fall, they took English 111, so they marked it off and noted when they took it. They did that on their CFC, and they did it on their BDP. Check, I've taken English 111 in 2018 fall. So this means I've accomplished it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. I'm taking this to earn my associate's degree, but it also counts, it is the course equivalent for the English required at ECU for my bachelor's degree. Okay, what else did they take in 2018 fall? Nothing. That was the only course they took. What did they take, or what are they currently taking in 2019 spring? Okay, so they've color-coded the things that they're taking each semester. 2019 spring is pink or purple. Not sure what that is. 2018 fall was yellow. So what are they taking in 2019 spring? They're taking English 112, which works because English 111 was a prerequisite, which they've already taken. So they can check off for their associates in science. English 112 was required. They're taking it in 2019 spring. Come over here. Yes, it's also required down here for their Bachelor's of Science in Biology at ECU. They require English 2201. And at Beaufort, they've taken the course equivalent, English 112. So they can check that off. Again, they're killing two birds with one stone. That's a bad saying. I probably should stop saying that. Anyway, if somebody can come up with another analogy, they need to let me know. So, but this is good because you're accomplishing two goals at once. Let's say it like that. So, English 112 you've taken at Beaufort, and that counts for the English 2201 that you need at ECU to earn your Bachelor's of Science. And so, at this point, all you have to do is just go through and mark the ones that you've already taken on your curriculum flowchart and your BDP, and then the ones that you're currently taking on your curriculum flowchart and your BDP. And keep in mind, when I say BDP, this document could be your curriculum plan for dental hygiene assistant, the program at Martin. So whatever your midterm or long-term goal is, that's what this document needs to be, because you need to make sure what you're taking here is going to count for something here. If you're not sure which courses you've already taken, Open Web Advisor. It's a great resource. It shows every course you're taking now and have previously taken. Okay, so then you're just going to start mapping out the rest. Couple of tips here. These are really, really important things. This is where I think some of us think, well, it's already mapped out, or I'm just going to take an elective. So here, for instance, this is my CFC, my curriculum flow chart from Beaufort, and it says to earn my associate in science, I just need to take 3 credit hours of a social behavioral science. And they recommend Psych 150, so why wouldn't I just go ahead and take Psych 150? Alright, remember I've told you about these footnotes, so let's read what that little number 1 means. This is the bottom. The social behavioral sciences that would count here, that would give you the 3 credit hours that you need, are all of these classes. So it seems like I could just take any social behavioral science I want to, and that would count for my associate in science degree at Beaufort. Easy peasy. Alright, now let's be a little bit more savvy with our planning. Let's look ahead to the future. Remember, we're planning our short term with the long term in mind. So, if I'm still planning to go to UNC Chapel Hill and earn my Bachelor's of Science in Biology, look down here. For their social behavioral sciences, they need 2. We need 2 to transfer or to earn this bachelor's degree. And you'll see the North Carolina Community College courses here and their UNC Chapel Hill course equivalent. Well, these are, it says select 2. These are my choices. So if you see Econ 251, Econ 251, Econ 252, Econ 252. History 111, History 111. You can go through and just check them off. I could take any of these. Psych 150 would count for my associate in science, and actually they recommend it. But is that going to be the best choice for me when my long-term plan is to go to UNC Chapel Hill to earn my Bachelor's of Science in Biology, and my choices here do not include Psych 150? So even though this is recommended here, I want to go ahead and plan out. I don't want to take a class when it's not going to count for both. That's just wasting time and money. So for this requirement here, I may choose Sociology 210. That counts for here, my associate's degree in science, and it would count here for my bachelor's degree in biology. I don't have to choose Sociology 210. I could choose History 111 because it would count here for my, oh, sorry guys, keep clicking. It would count here for my biology degree at UNC, my bachelor's degree, and it would count here for my associate's degree. So this is where I'm talking, I'm trying to emphasize the importance of reading these footnotes and making these decisions, making your short-term decisions based on your long-term plans. I know it looks like, well, I can just take any elective, for example, any elective here, any general ed course, any UGETSI course. But you want to think ahead. Whatever I'm taking here, I want to make sure where can I check it off on this, on my BDP, on my long-term plan. So, for instance, communications and humanities fine arts elective. Read that little footnote. Down here, communications, Com 231, and humanities. You can take any of these to earn your associate in science, but what does it say over here? So for your humanities and fine arts, it wants you to take one of these and then one of these, and then note from at least 2 different disciplines. So let's say I really love music. I might just say, well, it wants me to take 2 humanities courses. I might just take Music 110 and Music 112. I love music. Well, this particular BDP plan is saying, well, wait, let's look over here, because I could take Music 110 and music that's cut off there, but Music 112, for my associate in science, it would count. But thinking ahead, it's saying they would prefer you to have it from 2 different disciplines. So maybe a music and an art, or a music and a literature course. So if I'm taking Music 110 here, that would count for my Music 110 here. It would count for my associate's degree. It would also count, I could check that one off, because it would count for one of the humanities required at Chapel Hill. But then for my second humanities, I may need to choose a different course. I mean, a course from a different discipline. So maybe English 231. All right, that would match up. English 231 counts here. English 231 counts here. I may be beating a dead horse right now. Gosh, my analogies are awful. But I can't emphasize this enough, that reading these footnotes, reading all the fine print, and really planning out these electives will make a difference in the long run. These are things that you're going to plan out using your resources, and then you're going to share these plans with your advisor. Your advisor will go over these plans with you. Don't rely on your advisor to do these for you. This is your responsibility. This is what this course is for, to show you what the resources are and to teach you how to plan. Like I said before, plans change. Things happen. Life happens. But if you know the process, if you know how to plan well, if you know how to plan short term with the long-term goal in mind, you can apply that to so many different situations in your life. So remember, this is your responsibility, this is your education, your life. So you're going to want to plan it out, taking your time with this. This isn't a quick and easy assignment. This is something that's good. Hopefully, the more time you put into it, the more meaningful it will be and more helpful it will be to you. Now, once you've completed this, a very important part of it will be sharing it with your advisor and talking with them about your plans, letting them review it. There may be some things that your advisor knows about that you may not know. So it'll be important to have these conversations with your advisor, but you need to go to your advisor with a plan in hand. And that's what this course is for. So that's it for now. This should be enough to get you started. If you have any questions along the way, remember I'm just a phone call or an email away, and I'm glad to help any way I can. So call me if you need me, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks, everybody.